Although we're a few weeks away from the official NFL offseason beginning, the Denver Broncos make the first move of the 2024-2025 NFL season by signing an inside linebacker. We're going to break down who he is, where he played college, what the ceiling for him might be, and what this kind of foreshadows for the Denver Broncos move in the official offseason. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ben. This is not my typical setup. I'm on a family vacation, and each time I get my kids down for naps, I'm sneaking out, refreshing Twitter, and bringing you the latest and greatest Broncos news. It helps me out if you would like and subscribe. So looking at who we have here, we have his actual agent reporting this. He's a member of Rock Nation Sports, and his name is Jonas Griffith. He is an inside linebacker, an absolute stud of a dude, 6'5", 250 pounds. Really interesting guy, and his history into the NFL and his history into playing football. He didn't actually play football until his senior year of high school. He was homeschooled. His parents really wanted him to be well-rounded, so he was a part of theaters and learned. He's a really good piano player, I guess, and so he wasn't widely recruited because they only had a year of tape on him, but he really measures up, and he actually was signed as an undrafted free agent out of Indiana State University, and he was signed by the San Francisco 49ers. Kyle Shanahan really wanted to sneak him onto the practice squad. Shanahan wasn't going to be able to, so the Broncos picked him up a few seasons back from that, like we've talked about a lot on this channel, that was back when Elway was here, when we had that really close connection with the 49ers, where we had John Lynch and Shanahan all kind of connected there. And so Vic Fangio, I think, was the original guy who spotted him, signed him, and since coming to Denver, he's played quite a bit, but he's had injuries, but not Dulcich injuries that you worry about happening again, or just like weird things that you see happening. But he had a broken foot and a torn ACL, both of which are things that you think he recovers from. It's not like he's an injury-prone guy or has soft tissue things that, broken foot because someone rolls up on it's kind of fluky, and then the contact of having a torn ACL. So I think there's a lot of real high hopes on what this dude can be. Just looking here, just in 2011, he's almost at 100 tackles already, and a lot of us, maybe didn't know his name until this news popped back up. His big thing that I think really what he fits really well in is that he is a run stopper. He fits really well already with the chemistry of this team, that when he had the ACL tear and we heard that we were going to miss him for the whole year, you heard Josey Jewell and Singleton on separate podcasts both say, like, oh man, we see how hard this dude works. He's learning so much, and we're bummed that he got hurt. But you see there's a really cool piece written on him on The Athletic, where it talks about his real strength is in stuffing the run, that he is a beefy dude and he's going to stuff that. I don't see him running out and sticking with a tight end for very far, but he is a tackling machine, and I think that is a really cool thing that we signed him back. We have him at least for the rest of this year. The really interesting thing to see is going to be, what do the Denver Broncos do with our three players who we have up at that position, who we need to find a way to re-sign, and that is Josey Jewell, Ben Neiman, and Justin Strnad. All are up, and we know we're already over the cap. We're a team that needs to make some cuts. There are cuts and trades that we might make. We've talked about that on the channel. You can go back and check out some of those rumors that we've heard of, like, is Justin Simmons on the trade block? Is Jerry Jeudy on the trade block? Are we going to cut someone like our awesome receiver Tim Patrick? Are we going to cut him and make room? So I find it really hard to think that we're going to be able to pay Josey Jewell what he deserves. He's been an animal since I think a lot of people hated on Elway when he originally picked him. I've been super happy with how Josey Jewell has performed, and I love the chemistry, the Bash brothers with him and Alex Singleton. Like, seem like they really are always in sync, and they have a pregame ritual together. They're like the only dudes in the locker room, I guess, that don't listen to pregame tunes to get pumped up. They just talk about the game and just about life, and they have a really cool chemistry. So I hate to see that broken up, but if I'm being honest, I just find it hard to believe that we can get both of those guys under the cap. And so having a Jonas Griffith, who Kyle Shanahan said it sucks that we lost him, and we saw how good that 49ers defense was, that they had a fluke injury a torn Achilles tendon for one of their linebackers running on the field, or I think they have a real shot at winning the Super Bowl. And so they have a knack for finding talent. They found this talent, and now we get to capitalize on it. So I think all of that is really great news, but we shall see what that means for the Denver Broncos with signing Josey Jewell and what happens as soon as we hear that. You'll definitely hear it. The last piece of news I want to cover here real quick, and then I'll go wake up my kids. But the last piece of news I want to cover is this piece of news that just came out from Jeff Legwold, and he's saying that it is widely expected, meaning like everybody and their mom thinks Russell Wilson is gone. And he said he would be very surprised to see Russell Wilson back on the Denver Broncos. So we know there are different cap implications and whether or not we're going to take that dead cap hit over 2 years or if we're just going to try to bite the bullet and just do it in 1 year. But it seems as if Russell Wilson, according to Jeff Legwold, is not going to be with the Denver Broncos again next year. So there is going to be so much this offseason. Are we drafting a quarterback? Are we going to try to find a free agent quarterback? How does that change what we do in the draft? All of that, and I hope that you stay locked on this channel so that I can bring you all the greatest. Until then, Broncos country, giddy up.